Tell somebody, mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business and leave my business alone.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business Monday. I am your host, Travis.
And I'm Arletha.
And this week's episode of Mind Your Business Monday is brought to you by the Literary Lighthouse Alliance, helping aspiring authors become published authors, and also On Point Alliance. Here at On Point Alliance, we provide identity-related solutions through a diversified scope of services, with fingerprinting and background screening being our primary services. So to learn more, just go ahead, scan the barcode, or better yet, you can go ahead over to www.onpointalliance.com.
All right, let's get this week started by tackling it like a boss. We want you to level up your skills from entrepreneurs who have walked in your shoes, who want to share in their wisdom in both personal and professional leadership development. So regardless if you're just starting out or already in the game, this is your compass towards success. So if you like how that sounds, go follow, like, share, and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Click the notification bell.
All right, guys. And y'all know we super excited about the secret recipe
of an overcomer.
How to transition from defeat to victory. This is, I'm still saying, 10 toes down, the first hybrid of its kind. Is a recipe book. The authors are the recipes. So they are talking about different things that they have overcome. We're talking about, because I don't always mess it up every single time. So we overcoming invisibility, overcoming the diagnosis. We had Arthur who was given 6 months to live. Overcoming codependency, overcoming obesity, overcoming past trauma, overcoming sex addiction, overcoming the loss of innocence, overcoming a sheltered childhood. Following that, there are workbooks in each chapter. So if you don't have anybody to talk to, anyone you can trust, just you and the Holy Ghost, y'all can work through the workbooks. Then on top of that, there are recipes that are inspired by the story. So meaning real food recipes. So recipes. For example, as a leader, mine is love glazed barbecue ribs. And ribs protect the internal organs, but they're also fragile. So that's how I came up with the love glazed barbecue ribs. Yes, St. Louis style ribs, and you already know. So get your copy by scanning a barcode. Also, Encourage, Strengthen from Within is my freshman book. Yep, it's cute, but it is not only for women.
It is not.
So this book actually helps you challenge yourself to evaluate the issues of your heart, assess the perceptions, motives, and intentions of what you say you believe, renew your mind through the word of God, and embrace the real you. So you can get this copy as well by scanning the barcode. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Sound like a plain.
Well, I am excited again for tonight because guess what, guys? As it has been advertised, we have a special guest with us on tonight. So we are in for a treat with our guest, Evin Basher. He's from EB Tax Solutions LLC. He's going to be sharing with us some things on how to take advantage of tax deductions, which we need to know. A lot of us need to know. And a whole lot more. Arletha, tell us how we met Evin.
Listen, we can go heavy on the more. This young man is so knowledgeable. And in the tax world, it's something called due diligence. And when I say this young man does his due diligence, we were talking today and him working on something with a client. And baby, when I tell you he did his due diligence, that's what you need when you're dealing with someone working on your taxes, someone who's integral, someone who cares about accuracy. I was impressed with this young man from the very first day I met him. You can, if you want it, you can go ahead and bring him in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, and game changers, welcome to the show, Mr. Evin Basher.
Yay! Welcome, Evin. Thank you so much for joining us. As I was saying, I'm so impressed with this young man. I made sure the age was enough space for me to still call him young man without making me old. But
be old by yourself.
I know, right? I'm so impressed with this young man and just how he conducts business, how he carries himself as a man, as a, just as a head of his house, and just how respectful he is. So when you accepted this invitation, I was so excited. You should have saw me running back to my team like, he said yeah. So I'm excited. I want everybody to get to know you because I will ooh and ah over you for a long time. So I'm gonna let you share with everybody who you are and a little bit of what you do so we can jump right in.
And how you met us.
Yes, how we met him. Yeah,
we're gonna get into what he does. We're gonna get into what you do, but we want to know how we met, how this connection happened.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a very interesting story, by the way. But I mean, it's one that's definitely monumental because in order for me to become a tax professional, I have to get fingerprinted. I have to make sure that I'm compliant with the Internal Revenue Service, and coming to your office, and I have no idea, it just must have been God's way of leading me to you guys, and finding your location, which was very close to my home. And so when I first came to you, you all were very professional, and I just pretty much felt at home. And I recall when I finished, and after I did all my fingerprints and they got sent back, and in walks Travis after Arletha was doing everything, and Travis looked at me and he looked at my fingerprints. He said, "Man, you better not ever do a crime in your life because your fingerprints are so oily, they'll be all over the place." So I took a mental note right then and there. I was like, "Well, I got to get my life right then."
Yeah, so he was actually a client, and we've been telling later we're going to talk about how individuals can even add fingerprinting to their business because tax professionals are one of our main clients. Mm-hmm. And so so that's how we met, guys. So he's not a fly by night, and I'm thinking that had to be a good 3-4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. 4 years ago, actually, because your daughter was in Pampers.
Yeah, now she's 5. She'll be 5 this July. She'll be 5 going on 15. She's now 4. A good prayer for us,
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Well, that's all right. So I'll tell you what, at this point, we're going to go ahead and let you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do, and then we'll get some questions from the audience, of course, with a few, from us as well. So just tell us, how did you get into the tax industry?
Absolutely. So I've been in customer service, or just some customer service field jobs, for a while. I would say at least about a decade now. And so when I think about how I can bring my expertise and make a difference and make an impact in the community, I thought to myself, I said, well, listen, tax time is a really monumental time, really, each and every year. So if I can learn or get to the point to where I can develop my skills and also learn a new trade, and be able to compensate for it as well, that can actually take me far. Because one thing that a lot of individuals need to know is they need to understand the tax law. They need to understand pretty much how to file their taxes, how to take advantage of their taxes, even throughout the year. For business owners, just for individual taxpayers, they need to understand this information, because once it comes tax time, guess what? Everyone's only worried about, oh, how much am I getting back? Am I getting some back? Oh, I make too much. I'm not getting anything back. Well, you can take advantage of that information throughout the year to where it's not a guessing game, or you're not shopping around going to Target then going to Walmart, then, you know, seeing what this lady down the street has and what she can do for you and everything like that. But you know, because you have all that information laid out. And so when you take that to a tax professional, it's important to know exactly your situation and to know exactly what that person, that tax professional is putting on your tax return. Oh, I think you guys are muted.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Well,
So we're always, they definitely need to hear us. So we're always talking to our game changers about how to level up in their businesses. And that's one of the main reasons I was excited about you coming on, talking about this topic of taxes, because there's so many people trying and aspiring to go off into that industry. So what are a few ideas or processes you feel all tax professionals should implement in their offices?
well, one of the main things is that they have to know how to market. I think one of my mentors could laugh at me today if she was listening, because I have a hard time marketing myself at times because, you know, I generally work from home, and, you know, our office is virtual and mobile. However, it's hard sometimes for me and myself to present my personality just in a virtual setting. And so being able to have someone who can market and can put out photographs and flyers and put themselves out there and be creative, that's one thing that's going to set you apart. Because one thing is, a lot of individuals are going to market or maybe do some erroneous marketing as far as saying, "Hey, we can get you back $7,000 with no children." Which, when you find out how to do that, maybe not let me know, but we can talk about it. But still, you know, that's one of the main things. But marketing is definitely key in order to play a huge role in a tax professional success. And I would say another thing is to delegate. An individual has to be able to delegate a lot of their operations. You can't do everything. Even when I first started out, I was telling myself, I was like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. Maybe I can just have one person do this. Eventually, once my clientele started to grow and expand, I got to the point to where I was getting stressed out. I couldn't do just the data entry. I couldn't evaluate return for all of my clients, and, you know, each and every time, you know, when I have meetings back to back to back to back and not understanding. So I need to be able to have someone marketing. I need to be able to have someone doing the data entry. I need to have someone engaging with our followers in different scenarios, because if not, then everything can fall apart and someone can be missed. And we definitely don't want to do that. And then the last thing is just basically being yourself and also being a professional, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with real life individuals with real life scenarios. And so you don't want an individual to come to your office and, you know, you're just, you know, they're sitting down, they're giving you their information, and you're not educating them. And you're not educated yourself. You're just simply just mashing in numbers and then just spitting out what it is. A tax professional must know how to interpret the tax return to the taxpayer, because if not, then I won't feel comfortable going to someone else, or God forbid, if there's an audit that comes through, then that tax professional, or generally that taxpayer also, they have to be able to interpret what's on that tax return. And if you can't interpret as a taxpayer what's on your tax return, and your tax professional can't either, then that can definitely hurt you in the long run.
I know that's right. You know,
Wow.
when I hear him say that word audit, I'm still going to say we're the only African American couple that I know who's ever been audited.
Look, and then and then at that time we only had a penny bank.
Come on,
with money in it, and they audited us. We're like, what you bothering us for? So yeah, that whole thing is a real thing. But you said so much.
He really did.
Our last show, we were talking about the difference between understanding your capacity versus your capability. Just because I know how to do all the things, I cannot do all the things and keep the quality and efficiency up without compromising those two things. And
Absolutely.
then everything that you're saying, we've been preaching CRMs, we've been preaching automations, we've been preaching you outsourcing,
Delegating
delegating things, utilizing virtual assistants services, utilizing Fiverr. You know what I'm saying? Some of these things that you can delegate to someone else, so that way you can focus on being great. And then we
Absolutely.
also talked about customer service, and what you're talking about is great quality customer service. Y'all see, this is why he had to come on this show. This is why we can endorse his service, because I personally know firsthand that's his focus. It's not about making all the money. Yeah, we all want to make money, but if I gotta compromise my integrity for some money, that ain't something that I'm interested in. And that's just how he established his business. And I actually appreciate that. But y'all hear him saying all the things we've been talking
about it.
Your CRMs, your automations, outsourcing, delegating, and you have to have integrity to be able to step back and properly assess what your moves need to be concerning your business. Because he could have focused on just being popular, and like he said, I got back-to-back meetings, so evidently he got some motion going, right? So with that motion, what's the priority in this? I don't want my clients to get lost in the shuffle of me trying to build my business. At the same time, I'm not trying to compromise my motion either.
Exactly.
So he was able to step back and assess that. So I'm proud of you being able to even come up with that. And then you got great mentors. We even talked about that. Get you some good mentors and coaches that can lead you in your industry.
Yes, absolutely.
But listen, this is Power Pack, guys. Some of y'all just coming on right now. You're at a great time to go ahead and start liking and sharing, because we need as many people to hear this information as they can.
Yes.
That's what this show is about. It's about empowerment. It's about knowledge. Yes. We're going to take a little moment to hear from our sponsor, and then we will be right back with Mr. Evin Basher. Okay, we'll be right back.
My name is Arletha Kent, and I am the CEO and president of On Point Alliance, where we help our clients maintain the integrity of their identity through fingerprinting and background screening services. We offer a diversified scope of services covering everything from personal review, pre and post-employment. So regardless if you need background screening for a power of attorney, a certification or licensing in another state, or if you're a business owner looking to screen new applicants or monitor the criminal record of your current employees, we've got you covered. We have established our reputation by earning our clients' trust through delivering accuracy and efficiency. We would love to be your preferred fingerprinting provider. To learn more about how our services can be your solutions, click the link below.
And we are back with Mr. Evin Basher. Go ahead, Arletha. We're going to take him here.
So, Evin, I've been excited to learn about tax deductions. Just give us whatever you got that in this little short period of time, something that we can take away from here and, to better position ourselves for our tax preparation for this year.
Absolutely. I would love to. Well, here's the thing. The main thing that makes an expense a deduction is the IRS categorizes a deduction as an expense that is ordinary and necessary to operate your business. Now, this can be in many different forms, and it depends on your business. So essentially, like in my business per se, we are more virtual, but we are also mobile as well. So there are different deductions that we can actually write off. So I would say there's something like our home internet, our lights, my phone bill, my phone insurance. These are different deductions and things that are necessary in order for me to operate in my business that I can take at a percentage to write off. Now, each individual person's is different. So let's say if you're a photographer, if you are a traveling photographer and you travel and you have studios, you purchase cameras and things like that, those deductions are generally 100% deducted as either supplies or office expenses, because you're actually using those supplies 100% of the time for your business. So these are just general expenses that can produce some income for you. So you can definitely deduct them. Another thing is mileage. If you're a DJ, if you do you're a traveling hairstylist, you can either use your vehicle, one, to travel, and you can deduct the mileage, you can deduct all the gas if you have to make any maintenance on your vehicle. So if you have oil changes, tire rotations, and new tires, oh my goodness, all those different kind of expenses that you need just traveling, or if you did purchase your vehicle the year that you put it in business, you can actually use it as a depreciation. And that is a really big expense that a lot of individuals can utilize in order to bring down their adjusted gross income. And so that can go against their income and basically reduce their tax liability and increase their refund if they have it in their capacity per se. So it really just depends on each individual situation. So I recommend just a lot of individuals who, if you are looking into all the deductions that you could qualify for in your business, the IRS website has a great business deduction list on their website. If you just go to irs.gov and just click on business or click on deductions and you click on business, there's a full list. And I mean, that goes on and on and on with the different deductions that you can deduct for your business.
Oh, awesome. So what would be some of, because I know when you said mileage, that's always one of those tricky ones. Do you know of any apps, or how would you recommend someone to easily capture that type of information?
That's a great question. So I use Mileage IQ. So that's a great app in order to capture all of your mileage. So you can use that for your deduction. So essentially what I do is anytime I get in my vehicle, I only have one vehicle. So I have to make sure that that app is great because you can utilize the app for your personal or your business. So let's say you get in a car and you say, okay, I'm going down the street. Me and my wife are going to the movies, and it'll capture that event. But if the next day I go to a client meetup trip or whatever, and I travel 10 miles or so, I can actually categorize that trip as a business trip. And the other trip I can categorize as personal. So Mileage IQ does a great job of letting you be able to categorize which trip was for business and which trip was for personal.
Oh, okay. And because I've seen that app, but it's so many out here, and it's like trying to know which one works, which one doesn't. It can get overwhelming. And
Absolutely.
so, last question. I remember when the pandemic hit, and it was like, oh, all of your food, you can write it down as a deduction. It was something about the food situation. And so, in regards to meals, can you clarify what is considered a deduction when it come down to meals? Like if me and my husband go to lunch and we had lunch because we got to eat anyway. However, we never go to lunch and don't talk about work. We've been practicing and like not taking our phone, but because we have so many goals, sometimes it's kind of hard. So does it have to be a scheduled lunch, or is this just I'm with my business partner, we had lunch and we talking about work? Would that be considered a deduction?
Great question, but I actually want to commend you guys for actually being able to go out to lunch together and not talking about work. That's one thing about a partnership, just being together with someone, one, and just being able to go out in a setting and have lunch together and just be able to connect with one another versus just always talking about work, always talking about work. But the common misconception is about business meals is that a self-employed individual may say, well, I gotta eat. I have to eat. I mean, I'm self-employed. All I do is I'm a barber. All I do is I cut hair all day. I got to eat at some point in time. The way that the Internal Revenue Service categorizes the meals deduction is sort of like what you were mentioning, is that you have to be able to use these meals as a business transaction. So let's say, for instance, all three of us were to go to Chili's and sit down and eat, and we were just to do like a business meetup and discuss food or whatever the case may be. Let's say I took care of the meal. And so with that, I could use that meal as a tax deduction because we were there to generally conduct business or either if you guys were possibly trying to be one of my clients. you guys are a prospective client. So I could use a great percentage of that meal that I paid for as a tax deduction. So it generally all falls down to the business perspective of it, not just, well, I have to eat. You know, I'm a business owner, so I have to eat. So that's generally how it's categorized.
Okay, that's a good explanation. All right, y'all heard it. So, so you know how to consider what's a deduction and what is not. All right.
We want to definitely. I thank you for the what you call it, commendation on us learning how to do that over the years. We had to practice with the church to be able to go out and have a dinner without talking about ministry. And just have to engage. And we got to the point now where we actually know how to go into a restaurant and put our phones down and not look at our phones and engage each other. There's some good information, man. I want you, the game changers, I need y'all to do two things. I need you to get some questions that you have. We're going to be able to take some questions while we have Mr. Evin here. He's going to answer some questions. And also, you all need to be paying attention, because when the boardroom blitz come up, a lot of these terms are going to be used for your chance to win a trip anywhere around the world. But you got to be paying attention to this show, because as these games come up, we're going to be talking about these things that you've been hearing us talk about all the time.
Yes, and also, y'all, guess what? Facebook allow us to monetize. Now y'all give us some stars. I don't even know how to say it yet. So we got it up here. We still learning about it, but we can accept stars. So if y'all know what that means, send us some stars with it, so we can make more content. Is that how you're supposed to say it? So, I was actually excited about that, but even though I don't know what it means yet. So all right, y'all. So y'all see that on there. We can accept stars. So what's up?
So why don't we go ahead and hop into some questions? I see one that Rabia has put. I'm gonna bring that up. Say, what are the most commonly overlooked tax deductions for businesses?
One of the most, that's a great question, Rabia. Thank you for your question. I would say one of the most that individuals miss out on are the home deductions that they can take advantage of. You have a lot of individuals who work from home, and they don't even know that they can write off a portion of, you know, their rent. They don't know they can write off a portion of their home insurance. And there are even for some individuals who have a home and, you know, they have mortgage interest, they can write that off as a deduction as long as they itemize their deductions. So a lot of individuals don't understand that. So sometimes when I'm interviewing my client and saying, okay, so what about this? What about this? They're like, oh, I didn't know I can. Let me get that real quick. Let me make sure that, because, you know, the more you know, the better. And that was the main reason, about 99.9% of the reason why I joined the tax game was to first educate my clients. So I would say really the home, any kind of deductions that an individual can write off for their home, essentially.
Awesome. And prescriptions, because now that was one last year that I was, or the year before last, because I actually had to have a surgery. And I started finding out about these different ones pertaining to health and prescriptions. Could you give a little insight on that?
Actually, I can give an insight and a few examples, actually. So if anyone is they have a medical you know, issues or things like that they paid for out of pocket for, then that's generally a write-off, but that's under their itemized deduction. So there's a thing called a standard deduction. So this is the standard deduction that for every class, or excuse me, every filing status has a general standard deduction that they can fall under that will basically reduce their tax liability automatically. Now, itemized deductions are deductions that every individual can take advantage of throughout the year, and they may not even know it. So itemized deductions fall under the prescriptions. If you have doctor bills that you go to, so let's say you travel let's say you travel from DeSoto to Plano every week because you have a doctor visit. So you can take note of the miles that you've driven. You can take note of the co-pays that you paid. You can take note of all of the X-ray, the MRI. You can take note of all that information that you have. And you can capture that and utilize that information on your tax return. Now, I will say this, for someone who's itemizing their deductions, the itemized deduction total amount must exceed the standard deduction amount. So the reason why I say that is generally the standard deduction amount, I believe, for 2023 was about $13,800 for a single filing individual.
Mhm.
That means that for anyone who's itemizing their deductions, they have to itemize at least over that $13,800. So could it be a lot? See, I have braces, I have glasses, I pay for different things throughout the year. So these are a lot of things that individuals can deduct. Now, I say all that to say there are individuals who may have certain procedures that can generally make them more well endowed. They can weight loss procedures and different things like that. As long as those procedures are for medically cleared reasons, then those can generally fall under that category as well.
Wow. And
Okay.
it doesn't matter if this is a working person or someone on like Social Security or Medicaid, things like, so it doesn't matter.
Generally, so there are income limits per se, and that's a great question as well. I would say generally for anyone who may be a W-2 earner or 1099 per se, who's actually earning income.
Okay. That's amazing. Y'all listen, I hope y'all got y'all notebooks out because he done dropped
Right,
some
'cause-
gems since he been on here.
Now, speaking of notes, that 13,000, you said that is called a what now? A standard what?
Standard deduction.
Standard deduction. Okay. Now, what determines? I say what determines. Who determines? Do you know who determines that amount for it? I guess it changes by the year.
Absolutely, that's a great question. Yes, the Internal Revenue Service determines the standard deduction for each and every tax year. So even on your tax return, when you're filing, there's a section in between. Can't remember the exact lines. There's a section on the left-hand side of the 1040 that lays out the standard deduction for each filing status. So this information is already set in stone when you're ready to file your tax return. And when you're working with your tax professional, they can let you know and help you calculate all of your itemized deductions to see if you're going to go over that amount or if you can simply just take the standard deduction.
Baby, listen. This man know what the form look like, where the stuff on the form
In
is.
betwixt
In between. You want somebody that know what they're doing, that's going to provoke you to go and dig in that box and get the receipts out, make you think about things you didn't know that you could get credit for, okay? Because I'm sure some of y'all, some things on here that he done said you didn't even know was a whole thing that you've been forfeiting. But we're going to get to how you can connect with him so we can make sure you're getting all your coins this year on your tax return.
We're going to hit one more question before we go to commercial break. But how can I better organize my record to maximize my tax deductions next year?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say there's an app, many different ways that individuals can do that. And some individuals are more old school. They just keep records and they just keep the receipts every time they pay for them. Some individuals have an Excel spreadsheet to where every time they make a purchase, they just drop it in an Excel spreadsheet and make sure they keep track of it that way. I use an app called Keeper Tax, so KEEPER Tax. So they can actually help you itemize, basically break down each and every one of your expenses. So they have different categories for all the expenses that a business owner or just anyone who has expenses. And so you can utilize that app and go in and just simply type in that you paid $10 for gas or whatever the case may be. $10 for gas is not really much nowadays, but that there's different categories that you can utilize in order to keep track of that on Keeper Tax.
So we say Keeper Tax, TAX, Keeper Tax.
Correct.
So y'all, he done already gave y'all some nuggets there. Mile IQ, right?
Mileage IQ.
Mileage IQ. And keep your tax. No excuses on why your stuff raggedy and shabby. After tonight, get your life in order, because he didn't already gave you the scoop, and you ain't got to be leery about which app to use. These are ones that he, the professional, is using. All right. So, we got another good question.
No, that's not a question. She just
the standard deduction is set.
She's very agreeing with what it was that he said.
Yep.
So we are going to take a few more questions, but what we're going to do right now is go ahead and find out what's going on in the buzz circuit. Guys, still keep sharing for us. We got brother Evin Basher here that's dropping his knowledge on us.
Fire. He ain't stuttered, ain't took a breath. It's almost like he like, that's all y'all got. Bring it.
Listen, we're going to hear from the buzz circuit, and we will be right back. What's up, game changers? Ready to tap into the heartbeat of all things Mind Your Business Monday? Check out Buzz Circuit. It's your go-to hub for the latest announcements, including challenges, giveaways, the freshest MYB merchandise, special guests, events, and even those fun behind-the-scenes moments we just can't keep to ourselves. Want the full scoop? Don't miss the Buzz Circuit highlight video during our show. And for more buzzworthy updates, swing by our website, www.mybmlive.com. Think of it as your VIP pass to all the buzzworthy happenings in our world. Stay connected, stay informed, and always be the first to know. And we are back. Man, this has been hot tonight.
Yes.
Really, really hot. So you guys got time. I think how many more questions?
Maybe two, because we don't want to wear them out now. We're gonna have to start charging a consultation fee just with all this knowledge he's dropping on us tonight.
I'll send the link.
That's right. So
and also keep in mind, guys, some of these names that you're hearing could be on Boardroom Blitz.
Oh, most definitely. So every third Monday we do a Boardroom Blitz where we do a game show. And it's still on topic of whatever the theme is for that, I guess, month or whatever. And then, so this one is going to be focusing on taxes. So y'all better be taking notes, because he's giving us a lot of information. All
right. So we do have a question coming in from Rose Ledbetter.
Okay.
It says, first year doing a 1099-R form. Is anything else required? Or can this form be done separately?
That's a great question, Jose. So generally a 1099-R is used for, like, if you have a distribution for like retirement, or let's say you had to take out like your 401k, pull from your 401k or whatever the case may be. Now this document can be generally filed separately. So, if that is your only source of income that you've had to report throughout the entire year, you can definitely report it. Or depending on the distribution code, anyone could generally be taxed on the amount that they have withdrawn. So generally there's a general percentage that everyone is taxed on when they do an early withdrawal, or if it is early, or whatever the case may be. So to answer your question, it all depends, and that's a great question. I would love to just chat it up with you and just basically just get a little bit more into your situation to where we can know for sure. But generally speaking, if there is someone who has income and they have to report that income, and then they also have an obligation to report the 1099-R as well, you may generally have to report both of them.
Awesome. They helped you, Rose? That was a good question and a good. And I'm loving how he's like, "What, girl? That's all you want to know? Jelly and peanut butter, bread, put it together." He just makes it sound so simple. And I love. He said earlier, if you cannot explain or interpret your tax return, your tax preparer failed, because it's their job to explain it to you. And the way you explain this, I have never, in my first job, I was 14, have never had anybody sit down and explain taxes, how you doing in this little 30 minutes that we've been on here. And we ain't even been on here for 30 minutes with you yet. So y'all listen, when we share his information, make sure that you all grab his link and go and set up your consultation and serious inquiries only. If you just shopping around trying to find somebody, go shop first and then come to him, because he ain't got time to be playing. Y'all see, he know what he's talking about. Okay,
He ain't got
time to be playing no games.
She's such a girl.
He got tax returns to do and get people their money. All right. So, any other questions? Because we got one more on our side for him. So, I'm going to hit our question. So, what final piece of advice would you give anyone listening that may be looking to start their own tax business?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say to know your why. Know why you began to pursue a tax in goodness, I can't talk. So know exactly why you're coming into the tax business, because there can be a lot of implications if you're just coming into the tax business just to make $5 here and there. Just to say, oh, I do taxes, and that's there's a lot more to it than that, and it takes a lot more just being in the tax game and understanding that you have to be able to interpret the 1040. You have to be able to interpret to a taxpayer what's on their tax return, because guess what? If the Internal Revenue Service comes knocking and you don't have any answers, after a certain point in time, they can shut you down, they can penalize you, and you definitely don't want that. And so I would say for anyone, if you do have that drive and you're looking to say, hey, this is something I really want to do, I would say, like Nike, just do it.
I like that. Listen, I'm not a tax professional, but I like to throw this part in here for free, just because I know my wife would probably shake a little bit with me saying it. But also, if you want to get into the tax business, learn how to read. Okay.
Oh my Lord, yeah.
I've had folk try to tell me now that here it is, a standing deduction. What is a standing deduction? Read, people. She let me say it. She didn't even touch me.
A standing deduction.
What they mean better. But the thing about it is that she said earlier, we always stress about people that's talking about starting businesses. Integrity is key.
Yes.
Because we've heard too many horror stories of people getting in trouble with the IRS.
Standing deduction.
Too many people getting in trouble with the IRS because people talk a good game. They talk like they know what they're talking about, and it may wind up getting you a larger return, but it's not worth it in the long run. And I always tell people, don't let somebody get you souped up where you are here getting larger returns, because it is going to catch up with you.
Yes, because we've seen where people would like get you a bunch of deductions that you don't qualify for, and then you stuck holding the bag on trying to explain, and you can't say, well, my tax person did it. You see these famous people getting in trouble about taxes, and they still make them pay. They can't say somebody who was doing it for them messed up.
Pay or go to jail.
Yeah. So you want someone like Evin, who first of all is integral, second of all, who is knowledgeable, who's going to give you accurate information and guide you properly, equip and educate you on how to prepare your documents, how to position yourself to have everything that you need to avoid any issues. It's just not worth it. So again, Evin is your go-to guy. And Evin, because it's so much, I think I hope you can still come. Are you willing to come next week to finish up it? Because when the last day for taxes? On the April 15th?
So the deadline to file is April 15th. However, if you do file an extension by April 15th, then you have until October 15th.
October 15th. Now, for those who need a little extra time, is that something your office can help with, filing extensions?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right now.
Yes.
Listen, Evan, you done dropped so much knowledge on our game changes tonight. Why don't you go ahead and tell us where they can find you?
Well, we are primarily we have a Facebook account. We also have Instagram as well. So you can find us on Facebook at EB Tax Solutions LLC, as well as our Instagram is just EB Tax Solutions LLC, all together. We also have a link tree as well. That is just serves as our general website right now that has the link to where you can schedule a virtual consultation if you would like to. We also have helpful resources on there. So if you need just a quick link to where's my refund, there's a quick link for business tax deductions. So that website for the IRS, you can just simply go to my link tree if you're just trying to find it, and we have that link available for you. Also, if you do have back taxes that you need to file as well, if you need to file 21 or 22 or 20 or 23 or even prior years as well, we can also assist with that as well. So we do have the last 3 years of a questionnaire that you can fill out on our website as well.
Awesome. And I believe that we have actually, you can scan that barcode and it'll take you to his link where all of his contact information is as well. So you can either type in the link there or scan that barcode to access his services and all the options that he mentioned on there. All right, Evin. So, and it's my understanding that you have something special for any of our viewers who utilize your service. Do you mind telling them about that?
I would love to. I really would. So for anyone who's out there who's listening and they come into our office and they fill out the intake form and they just let us know that they're here because of Mind Your Business Monday, we are giving 50% off of all tax preparation fees.
Wow.
As well as for all of the so we also provide vacation vouchers or free vacations to all of our clients that file with us. We are also offering to pay for the activation fee. So for all of the our clients who come through Mind Your Business Monday. So generally that is a huge savings. So generally just that activation fee alone can save them up to about $400. And then we also pay for the lodging as well. So it's an actually great deal. So we definitely
a great deal, sir.
Come over to us and definitely just let us be able to help you out this year, or if not, next year.
Awesome. And what he's referring to is the vacations. There are terms and conditions that apply. And in order for you to accept the offer, you do pay the state taxes on that. So the voucher covers the hotel stay or your resort stay, but there are some small fees involved for you to accept the offer. And what he's saying is his office actually covers a portion of what those fees are, so you guys can go and reallocate those funds to something else.
We're gonna go ahead and put that back up there, give you guys time to go ahead and scan that barcode.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, this was amazing.
This has been loaded.
We're gonna have Evin come back next week, and he's going to share even more tips and strategies on how you guys can prepare yourself for this upcoming tax season. Y'all go over there and utilize the special offer, because that offer is going to be good for the month of this month. What month are we in? March. And so it's, the early bird gets the worm. So go ahead and schedule and take advantage of that option, because it doesn't matter what state they're in, does it, Evin?
No. So we do offer all of our services. We offer in all 50 states.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. All 50 states. Yeah, that lets you know how things are changing, because I remember it wasn't always that way. I say, well, I don't do nothing out of state now. I only do for Missouri. I only know about Missouri law. So, brother, you knowledgeable, man. Come on, man.
I mean,
I'm proud of you, man.
Look what they say. How rappers got bars. He was like,
as my aunt would say, do you hear me? I'm proud of you. Do you hear me?
Now, I do know some people, because we have a few minutes. that are like seniors. So if they have circuit breakers or if they have things like that, you're able to help them as well.
Absolutely. Yes, we can.
All right, now y'all heard them. This is very educated. Hey, that's my son. Hey, baby.
You got the folk have been very appreciative of the
Yes.
information that you have shared on tonight.
This y'all last opportunity to ask a question. Go ahead and drop one before we let him get back to his busy schedule.
Doing the thing, doing
Yes.
it, doing it
What
big.
is this is very that's what he said. All right, guys. Well, Rose, I am proud of you. She said that she started from a private owned business. She started a private owned business owner, and I've been doing simple taxes for years, and now all I want to do is teach them. I know that's right. See, I thought I wanted to do taxes as a service.
We thought wrong.
I'm leaving that to Evin. I don't want to do it.
See, and this is the thing about it. Whatever she does, I just change it from saying yes, Lord, to yes, dear. No, I got more certifications now because of my wife. We're gonna do taxes and we're gonna go get certified. And we go
and like I have all the stuff, and it's not something I want to do. Like if I want to do it, I go do it, and then when I realize if I like it or not, because it's so much. I'm creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand my capacity. I'm super creative. I have a wide capacity to do things. But this stuff right here, I want to outsource it and hire Evin to do all my taxes, and we just gonna let him be great.
Now I'm seeing something. I'm seeing some kudos from a Sonya Basher. Would that happen to be any relation?
That's my wife, actually.
Hey, hi, Miss Basher.
All right,
you're beautiful. I love that picture too.
You have a very smart husband.
Yes,
he makes us husbands look good.
Right. They say I hate business taxes, but I love simple taxes. Okay, well, if that's it, guys. So Evin, you agreed to come back next week, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you guys will have me, I definitely would love to come back.
Now, what Monday will that be? That's not the 3rd, is it?
Well, he can still come because he the one can give an explanation on some of the things.
True.
So he can come.
So if it's the third Monday, sir, you'll be here for Boardroom Blitz.
Yeah, here for Boardroom Blitz. So he can give some explanation on some of the answers that we're gonna have. So that's going to be perfect. All right, y'all, don't miss it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all our social media platforms. Fingerprint Boot Camp. Y'all heard them. Tax professionals need fingerprints. Trucking industry need fingerprints. Notary businesses, add fingerprinting to your services. If you're a person that have to get your employees fingerprinted frequently, we can actually train and certify someone in-house to provide those fingerprints. So then now you're saving time, money, and resources there because you don't have to pay them to come out. So scan the barcode to learn more about our fingerprinting boot camp. Also, guys, again, we want you to get your copy of the Secret Recipes of an Overcomer, how to transition from defeat to victory. I am so proud of this book, and it's a recipe book that you want in your library. So scan the barcode, and also you can get encouraged, strengthened from within there as well. And last, we want to invite you to be a guest on our show. If you have any areas of expertise that you want to share with our audience, please scan the barcode here. There's no big eyes or little U's, or you only get recognized if you have a bunch of followers. It doesn't matter. Do you know what you're talking about? Can you lead us to the water so we can drink and not drown? Okay. Can you guide us to something other than what we Googled and found ourselves? The stuff that Evin said tonight, that was not fluff. That was that the stuff that he said tonight was not fluff. It was information that you guys can leave and go download 2 apps and change your whole how you operate your business. Now some things to go jot down for deductions. You see how he gave you some things to do, so when you get ready to get your taxes done, regardless if you come to him or not, that you have some knowledge that you didn't have. You see what I'm saying? That's what this show is about. So guess what? If you know something that we need to know, come be a guest on this show.
And let
We
us
invite
know.
you. We want you to come and help get us and help us mind our business. Okay.
We need to know
So
how to do
Evin,
that.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. You have been
much.
great. You have been great.
Yes.
And now that we know that we have a date for next week, you guys heard it here. We're gonna be dropping some more knowledge next week with Mr. Evin Basher, and the founder of EB Tax Solutions LLC. He's gonna be dropping that knowledge again on us. It was such a pleasure, sir, to have you here.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely. And I want to say and take this moment to thank you all for your vision and for your leadership and all that God is doing in the kingdom for you all to have this platform, because this is amazing. This is something that we've needed for a while. And I know you guys have been doing this for a while, and I just want to take this time to commend and thank you guys for this platform, because you're doing amazing work.
Thank
you are so welcome. Much. You are so welcome. So I'm gonna have you hold on for a little while, sir, and we'll get to talk to you after the show. So this has been great. We want to thank everybody who took the time to not only watch but you shared. Hey, I need you guys to run over to our YouTube channel. We need some more subscribers. I need you guys to run over.
Yeah.
Send people over. Listen, y'all, we ain't minding nobody else's business here.
Right.
Okay. We minding our business. We trying to help you mind your business. Mind the business, get you paid. Okay. We need more people going over to our YouTube channel. Subscribers. So if you guys would do that for us, Game Changers, we really need you guys to turn it up and share, like our and things, hit the notification. Yeah, give us stars and everything. So thanks for tuning in. I already told you, don't forget to do all the stuff I told you to do. We want you to know that growth doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just about seeing opportunities where others don't. Success is a journey, not a destination. So in the meantime, keep moving, keep learning, keep improving. And until next time, remember to mind your business. We will see you guys next Monday at 7.
All right.
Hurry up, mind your business now. Hurry up.
Somebody mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business.